Hi guys, my name's Alannah and today I'm bringing you a sit-down chat with my lovely friend Sofia. Sofia is a qualified naturopath and she is all about, building a sustainable way when it comes to health and wellness. So today we asked you guys to write in your questions and today we're going to answer those questions. So hi Sofia, how are you?
Hi, Alannah, and thank you so much for bringing this up. And I think this answering that kind of questions from your audience is the great way into addressing very common things that people are faced with. And yeah, not everyone can afford and go for a naturopathic consultation. So
Hmm.
I think, yeah, we'll try to cover as many common things as we can today.
Yeah, we got some awesome questions. So I want to thank you guys for those questions and we're going to dive straight in. So the first question we have is anything to eat during periods that will help with my moods. So how can you tell us a little bit more about that?
It's a very interesting topic in general about eating for specific phases of your cycle. Um, I mean, I can go on and on about that, but if we try to condense it, that basically I think one of the biggest issues is that we're expecting ourselves to be same type of person day in and day out. We expect us to eat same foods throughout the month with the all hormonal changes and feel exactly similar way. So it's a very good approach to try and think on how with food and with some of the supplements or herbs and movement, we can basically address some of the issues that may arise because of the hormonal change. So, for example, if we have the so called PMS, and often it manifests in cravings and the mood swings or fatigue and all sorts of other symptoms,
Hmm.
if we try to address it with food, probably my first and like biggest advice in that it would be is to nourish yourself more throughout those times, because this is definitely not a time to start dieting or food intervention, fasting, etc. Eating good whole complete meals, making sure you have enough of fats, of healthy fats, so
Hmm.
your avocados, olive oils, nuts and seeds, because that's gonna nourish the hormone production. Then another very cool thing that you can add on is cruciferous vegetables. So this is your broccolis, your Brussels sprouts, kales, because they have a couple of components and some of them are sulforaphane that literally help you to get rid of the excessive hormones in the body, especially estrogen. Because
Hmm.
sometimes we do have these PMS symptoms because of the increased estrogen. So by increasing those, we literally help the body get rid of that. And then again, I will, sorry, but stress a little bit more on that, not restricting yourself in any way and sometimes even eating more, because
Yeah.
sometimes we have these PMS cravings for unhealthy foods. It's just because we undereat,
Yeah.
because after ovulation our temperature increases because progesterone goes up and our body is just literally more hot, so it burns more calories and we need more food,
Yeah.
and we never think about that.
No, definitely not. That's something when you told me that, I definitely took notice of that. And yeah, I do. I crave like, pies and garlic bread and all this stuff around my period. And maybe it is, yeah, simply because I'm just not eating enough to support that extra metabolism burn. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, that is the first question answered. So let's go into, more about foods and which foods are probably important to avoid when our skin is breaking out.
So when we look at the skin breakout, we have to think about what what is it manifesting, right? And our skin is always a representation of what is happening in our gut,
Okay.
right? So most of the time if something is on our skin, it means that the gut is not functioning to not functioning properly, so to say. And it could be your intestines, could be your liver,
Mm.
and or any of the other digestive organs, so to say. So first of all, it would be to decrease everything processed and inflammatory and kind of a flaring up. And I think most of us have understanding now what is kind of a healthy or unhealthy foods, right? And I'm really not about labeling food as such, as, you know, pizza and burger is bad and like salad is healthy. For
Yeah.
me, it's more about how the food was prepared, what products were used, you know. So for example, you can have a same meal prepared in different ways, and one will be more of a healthy, another one's going to be more unhealthy.
Yeah.
So it's about having less processed stuff and more of the whole natural food in its essence. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for example, even if you crave, let's say, a burger, make it yourself, you know, buy a good quality meat, drizzle it with olive oil, put some vegetables in there, buy a whole grain bun, and you have
Yeah.
a healthy meal that has nothing to do with fast food, right?
Yeah.
And just by trying to reducing, you know, all that heavily deep fried and, so to say, heavy stuff will already have a massive effect. And then, of course, sometimes when our skin is breaking out, it can be in relation to hormonal health or any kind of environmental impact. And then we'll have to deep more personalized in what's happening for you and where is it coming from to, yeah, address it to the full extent.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I know personally from my own skin issues that, yeah, just by a week of, you know, limiting those processed foods, I see a massive difference in my skin and even my eyes, like your eye color and stuff like that. And I know you've mentioned this to me before, but it's something that really sticks with me is only shopping in the outside aisles of your supermarket. So, you know, we don't need the stuff in the middle, which is the processed, you know, man-made stuff. We're just going to use, you know, the outside aisles, like your fruit and veg, your meat. Sometimes, yes, we get frozen berries or frozen vegetables for convenience, but we're still just using the outside aisles. I love that. I stick with that all the time.
Yeah, look, and I think it's a very easy way to address your food and to know, like, oh, you know, what's good for me, what's not. Just go in the shop, go around it. I mean, ideally you go to the market, but
Yeah.
it's not really convenient for everyone. So
Exactly. And I mean, that's another way of looking at it too. Like now, like with going through COVID, like it's important we do support smaller businesses. So even just finding your local butcher who's going to have that cleaner cut meat, or your local fruit and veg shop, you know, that's getting it straight sourced from the farm rather than supermarket food is also another tip there as well. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Definitely. Well, yeah, in relation to, you know, we're still talking about periods and, you know, skin is definitely linked to that as well. I find when I'm close to my period, I definitely break out more around period time as well. So I think there's that strong connection between the two. And it's definitely comes down to I do crave and eat more sweet and processed foods during the period, maybe causing more skin inflammatory reactions. So that's something that is definitely I've just taken on board to watch. So yeah.
Yeah, and again, you see, the breakouts go really hand in hand on to what we talked about, the PMS and how to clear those excessive hormones, right? So, and again, all your greens, all your cruciferous guys will help you to basically get rid of that excessive estrogen and, you know, therefore clearing the skin.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. All right, next question. Now, this is a little bit more of a personalized question, but it's still regarding hormonal health. So, you know, painful periods every month, and this lady is still 40 years old and she's taking estrogen. So she's, yeah. So pretty much we just want to talk about why periods can be more painful, you know, and, you know, is there an age limit when they shouldn't get more painful or, yeah.
Look, in regards to that specific question, so what is estrogens, right? This is the herbal supplement that actually has these broccoli extracts, right? And all these other things that come from there. But when we look at the estrogen journey through the body, all these things that we talked about, the cruciferous and the other basically plants that help you to metabolize estrogen, it works on a liver level, right? But then we also have to think about what's happening lower down the tract. So our digestive health and our gut is very, very important in that sense as well. Because if your liver metabolizes things properly and then everything goes into your intestines, but if you, let's say, constipated and the stuff just sits in there, the estrogen is literally reabsorbed back into the bloodstream, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to make sure that all these kind of the natural body's detoxification processes are working well, right? And then even simple things like drinking enough water, it's very obvious, but often we forget about that, to
Yeah.
basically flush things through, to help the bowels, to clean through. And then again, there could be many other reasons, but one of the biggest ones, when we have the painful periods and any kind of a PMS symptoms as well, apart from those extra estrogen levels and insufficient kind of improper metabolism of that, is the inflammation.
Mm.
And inflammation, it's a very interesting thing, because when we have a good amount of inflammation in acute situations, it's protective, right? We need to have that inflammatory response because that's how we keep ourselves alive. But when it becomes chronic and that kind of a low-grade chronic inflammation, it flare-ups all the different kind of a predisposed conditions in our body. For some
Yeah.
people, it would be depression. For some people, it would be really painful period. Someone else will have the joint pain. And so generally trying to lower down that inflammation. And how we do that? Basically by, if we look at the diet again, we increase all the anti-inflammatory stuff, and that's your vegetables, your fruits, adding all the herbs and spices and gingers and turmeric into what you eat, and decrease things again like processed foods, excessive sugars,
Mm.
high amounts of dairy, high amounts of processed grains will lower that inflammation in the body.
Okay.
And we should not forget that stress is also very inflammatory.
Yeah, that's I know stress is a big for everything, isn't it? It's such an important thing to lower when it comes to our health and wellness. But when we do have that chronic period pain, is there any foods that help relieve that pain a little bit more?
Look, if we look acutely when you have that period pain,
Mm.
what you can try and do, so ginger is good because ginger has natural that carminative and anti-spasm and pain relieving situation. Then you can also try adding cinnamon, because cinnamon also helps to reduce the cramps and kind of promotes the circulation to all your reproductive organs.
Yeah.
Another thing, it's not more of a food, but from more of a supplement perspective, adding magnesium may help, because magnesium also can relieve the pain and can relieve that tension and spasm
Yeah.
in the reproductive organs.
Yeah. Okay.
But that would be more of a cute thing. But then still, generally, you want to address these things outside of when you have your painful period, just throughout the whole cycle, to
Yeah.
kind of prepare for that, to then minimize this. Yeah.
Minimize pain when you get to your actual period. Definitely. Well, the last question I have around period health here, and I hope we have time, we would like some tips coming off the contraceptive pill. And I know I came off mine about 2 years ago, and
Mhm.
it took a while for everything to get back into normality, but now that it has, I feel so much better not being on that pill.
Yeah, look, and a very good point that first of all, you have to be very patient, because when we are on a contraceptive pill, we literally flatten everything and we don't have our beautiful variation of the cyclic hormones, right? And everything's just playing. Then when all of a sudden you get off the pill, body is just trying to readjust, right? So give it some time. Very rarely we see that people bounce back immediately. Sometimes it may take some months, sometimes some years, as in your situation. So yeah, to be patient, that's the first thing. Second thing is, I think I have to mention that, not to forget, if you use the contraceptive pill for the contraception, definitely research other methods of contraception.
Yeah.
Because we are a little bit brainwashed that, that's the only way, but no. There's, first of all, there's no contraceptive method that 100% effective, not
Yeah,
even the
it's true.
there are beautiful ways of contraception from the more of a natural perspective that might be useful, and they also teach you more about your body. So if you guys can just look up things like natural cycles or based on basal body temperature, and it's all about knowing when you ovulate, when you're fertile, how you can track these things, and then you learn about yourself more. And again, it will help you to then navigate around food and exercise in relation to your cycle. And then probably last thing to consider in here is that if your period is not coming back, or if you still struggle with some things post pill, consider seeing a professional, a naturopath or a GP, or any other person that may help you navigate through that, to look at your blood test, because sometimes there could be some deficiencies that contribute to that. For example, we know that being on a pill depletes some of the vitamins and minerals from your body. So sometimes replenishing those can give you a good boost, basically, to start that. And there's also lots of herbal medicines that can be useful, but to pick the ones that suit you, it would be good to see someone for that.